A trade is a trap. You've been told, learn a good trade, and you'll always have work. Yes, but think about that. It's also a trap, right? Because you're stuck working with your hands for the rest of your life. You're stuck breaking your body for the rest of your life. Is a trade truly better than working at McDonald's? Think about that for a minute. McDonald's at least has fast track to management program, right? It can teach you how to be a manager. It can teach you how to motivate people and manage people. And eventually, if you're lucky enough, if you're ambitious enough, you can buy a franchise. And when you buy a franchise, you're making, millions of dollars. So is having a trade, and by the way, studies have shown that most people that buy a McDonald's franchise own 10 franchises. And a McDonald's franchise, I forget how much they are, but they're 20 million, right? So if they own 10, is that better than working with your hands as a tradesperson? So think about that, because most people think about, the immediate return, the immediate results. Yeah, being a trade, I can make 40 bucks an hour, 30 bucks an hour, but you're pouring concrete, you're breaking your body. Yes, the $40 an hour, or working in the oil fields. Everybody says, Leo, I can make a shit ton of money working in the oil fields. If you're going to live 20 lifetimes, yeah, one of your lifetimes should be to build wealth, whichever way you can, right? But what if you only live once? What if you only have one opportunity to create generational wealth, right? Is being a tradesperson and working with your hands truly the best living that you can design for yourself? What about if you could design a business where you can work from home and spend time with your kids and go to their plays and see every activity that they have and play with them every afternoon and play with them between phone calls or Zoom calls? What if you could start, a $5 million business from your cottage or your sailboat, or from babysitting your 5-year-old, right? Nobody thinks about, how can I design the best quality of life, not only for me, but for my kids as well? How can I design a business where I'm taking care of my kids, my grandchildren, and leaving a legacy? Nobody thinks about that, because if they did, they would be working on it, because it is that simple. It takes work, but it is that simple. It's not hard work, but it does take work. It does take commitment. It does take, a commitment to say, okay, I don't care. It doesn't matter if I feel like doing it, because when the truck driver has to go to work and it's raining or snowing or whatever, it doesn't matter. Puts on his boots, puts on his big boy pants, puts on his coat, and goes out, cleans the truck, and goes drive the truck, right? Construction workers have to do the same. But when you're a business owner, all of a sudden we start making excuses. I don't feel like being creative today. I don't feel like doing that. Oh, I'll just do this instead, right? And that's how successful, or how you turn a successful business into a poorly designed business, because you don't feel like it, right? And I'm guilty of that as well. I don't feel creative. I don't feel, we're all guilty of that. But if you have the commitment, if you have an advisor, I personally have 6 advisors to hold me accountable. Every Friday, I have to stand in front of a panel to explain why I accomplished or didn't accomplish my goals. I pay for that service to hold me accountable. So if you want to start a $5 million business, it doesn't matter what kind of business. It doesn't matter that you have to be, passionate about your business. Passion is bullshit. When someone talks about passion and what you're good at, that's the beginning stages of turning a well-designed business into slavery and a job, okay? You shouldn't give a shit about what your business does, because it's what your employees do, and your employees are the ones who are passionate about what they do. You should own multiple businesses, and you should buy and sell businesses like you change underwear. Well, at least every 3 to 5 years, right? But trust me when I say trade is a trap. Getting a trade is a trap, because it's not as profitable as it used to be. Back then, 20 bucks an hour really meant something. 20 bucks an hour meant you could buy a house, you could buy a nice vehicle, you could take your family on holidays, 2 weeks out of the year, because the rest of the time you're working your ass off, right? But today, with leverage tools, with the internet, with artificial intelligence that can make 1,600 calls per minute, all the leverage tools available today, you can go from $0 in a business to $5 million in 2, 3, 4, 5 years if you're lazy, right? But $500,000 net profit from a $5 million business, or if you start a bookkeeping business with 30% net profit, that's 3 times that, right? And no, you don't need to know anything about bookkeeping. We'll help you hire quality CPAs who know the product, know the service, know the tax strategies, and we'll even hire, tax strategy lawyers to help you design the overall business for your clients, right? We are in the information age, but we are not freaking listening. We are in the information age, but we are not listening. As I said before, I manage a group with 338,000 business owners who are breaking their bodies with concrete or shingling roofs or baking their bodies in the hot sun or in the cold winter, putting up shingles. And I keep asking, why? Why? If 1% of the people, and I get 20 million views on my video, if I get 1/10 of the people that actually listen and say, Leo, you got my attention, what should I do with my life? What should I be doing? First thing is watch the top 10 most profitable businesses video. Don't watch it for entertainment. Watch it to implement. Then click on my calendar link. Then join our live events, Tuesday at 2 p.m. Influence is the new currency. There's no way around it. Influence is the new currency. If you don't have influence, it means you can't persuade. If you can't persuade, you can't get people to sign contracts. If you can't get people to sign contracts, you have no business, right? So please just listen to what I have to say. Maybe I'm right, right? We've only helped create 1,000 millionaires. We helped create 1,000 millionaires. So a trade is a trap. Please pass that on to all your buddies who are breaking their bodies. This message is to Ryan, who posted a great comment about, landscaping design and concrete. Thank you, Ryan. We'll talk again soon. Join our live events. Take care.